In less than 10 minutes, we're going to teach you the 3 fastest ways that we've been cooking pork belly, keeping it so simple you don't even need to take notes. What is pork belly? Is it the same as bacon? The answer is no. While bacon is usually made from pork belly, the curing process reduces the fat content and typically involves the addition of unwanted sodium and preservatives. Pork belly, therefore, is naturally higher in fat and key nutrients such as thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12. Additionally, it has significantly more potassium, which is a very critical electrolyte for those new to a low-carb diet.
Yeah, huge for all of us athletes. So why pork belly? I've eaten a pound or two of this delicious meat every single day for the past couple months and have been encouraged by Bart K, Mark Ennis, Robert Sykes, and Jonathan Griffiths to reduce the unnecessarily high amounts of protein that I was consuming through October 2022 up through January of 2023. Since then, I've been able to stay in ketosis more consistently. I've been able to improve my LDL, triglyceride levels, lipid levels. They've all been getting better slowly but surely ever since I eliminated carbs in the first place. Sleep is better, gym performance and recovery is still great, especially low intensity cardio. Taylor eats it daily too, and so do most of our clients. Our kids ask for it every time that they see us cook it. And Zion always gets the first bite because I can't say no to that face. I don't think anyone can. So pork belly is so disproportionately high in fat to any other meat that I can find that it's simply been the most practical base of energy for us to fuel our lives inside and beyond the gym.
Yep, superset your life, baby. Okay, so we're assuming that you're watching this video because you are, 1, eating a low-carb diet or a meat-based diet for long-term health, or you're an athlete of some sort or someone who wants to look good naked. We'll keep all this in mind as we give you the rundown. Where to get it. Here in the US, Costco has it in stock pretty much all the time. Most health food stores carry it, and if you can get good heritage-raised pork from a local butcher or a neighbor that has pigs, even better. So method number 1, simple as salt. I guess you can bet who named that one.
Yeah, that was definitely me, the salt nerd here. So it's cool to be a nerd too, by the way. I just heard that on Caleb this morning. Apparently being a geek is like it's in style now. So all right, let's jump right into the quickest and easiest way to cook this pig. The brand that we usually get comes in these 2-inch thick packages. This is the perfect height to let your air fryer work its magic, creating a crisp outer shell, kind of like McDonald's chicken nuggets, and it keeps those omega-3s trapped inside so you don't waste any of that prime nutrition. Next, you're going to cut off the amount of meat that you feel like your body needs as fuel. Notice that I said that your body feels like it needs as fuel. If you're following a specific meal plan, weigh it out before you salt and cook it. I highly recommend trying this without any seasonings to start for a couple reasons. Number 1, I mean, who's got time for a full-blown complicated recipe every single night? I sure as heck don't. Taylor sure as heck doesn't. No. In other words, they're not needed, so why bother? That's kind of my attitude towards plants in general, too. Especially if you've been listening to our podcast, you know exactly what we're talking about. All right. Seasonings tend to mask the flavor of the meats that we're eating, too. So a good salt is going to bring out the natural flavor of the meat. And mindful eating is very, very critical in identifying how much is necessary to give your body what it really, truly needs. You're kind of walking a fine line, especially if you have an aesthetic goal, but not too much that it gets stored as body fat. Enjoying the meat for what it is helps me to stay on track and know exactly how much to consume. Most seasonings contain inflammatory ingredients too, which is a problem because probably the whole reason that you're on this carnivore diet in the first place, if you are on the carnivore diet, is to eliminate chronic body inflammation and sicknesses. All right, so place the pork belly on a high rack in your air fryer and set that sucker for about 30 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius, and that's 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And start checking it around 20 minutes or so because every air fryer seems to be a little bit different. Yeah. I mean, like your mom's cooks it like twice as fast as ours does. So
really?
I know, I always forget that. So once the outside looks like McDonald's chicken nuggets, then you're pretty much done. Pro tip, if you're cooking any protein like beef brisket or any type of smoked meat that can tend to get dry, throw it in at the same time or maybe like after it's been cooking for a few minutes underneath the pork belly, and then all that fat is going to drip onto those leaner cuts. Oh yeah. Super, super good. Slice it up and serve it. Otherwise, grab a fork and a knife and just chow down. There you go. That's the first way to do it. Oh, and salt of choice. Celtic sea salt fine gray, I feel like, is the best one for this. Imported from France. It's an excellent choice here. The fine texture makes it stick to the outside of the meat nicely, and the higher moisture content keeps the meat from drying out too much, which will happen more with something like pink Himalayan salt. Yuck. As it cooks, don't even get me started on pink Himalayan salt too. We're not fans, just for the record. So as it cooks, it gets infused into that crispy outer shell and keeps the inside juicy and tender. We'll be using this salt for all 3 cooking methods. The mineral profile fits in some nutrient gaps that you might be missing from the pork belly too, in particular iodine. Save your potassium-heavy salts such as Celtic sea salts, pink cave salt, another one of our favorites, for meats lower in potassium than pork, like beef, for example. Check out episode 98 of the SuperSetYourLife.com podcast for our interview with Selena, the founder and owner of Celtic Sea Salt and Selena Naturally, where we talk about all the salts.
Yum. You can support our content by heading over to SuperSetYourLife.com to pick yourself up a bag if you don't already have some. Save yourself 10% with the code STAYSALTY, and feel free to request samples of any other salts you see on our website. Method number 2, low and slow.
Yeah, buddy. So forget everything that Taylor just said about bacon earlier, because now you're totally going to slice it up and cook it just like bacon.
And it's so yummy.
Yeah. So I'm usually at the end of a hard work day of training, meetings, family time, Lord willing. The fastest way that I've found to cook this is to fire up a large pan on high and put the pig on while it's cold, so that it starts cooking like right away. And then if you're cooking a leaner protein or eggs or something with it, then once it gets hot, you got all that grease in the pan, so you don't even need butter.
Nice. And method number 3 is Colts combo.
Yeah, buddy. I like that name. What do you think of it?
I like it.
Okay, cool. So this is the most time consuming, although it's still pretty quick of all the ways that I usually cook it. So now we're going to combine both methods. This time, dice it up into 2-inch cubes and air fry them like you did with that big slab in method 1. After thoroughly cooked in the air fryer, throw all the pieces into a hot pan to finish them off. This texture is our favorite of all 3. This is the way to do it.
Yes.
It's the easiest to serve. It's great to serve when you have friends over, and it's super convenient for if you're trying to meal prep or something with it. You can just throw them, grab and go. A bite or two of these excellent animal-based fuel sources an hour or 2 before your workout. There you go. Some good fat-based animal fuel.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for watching. What meat do you want to see us demo next? Comment below. If you found this helpful, share this with a friend that eats meat and salt and has a tight schedule. That's probably like everybody on your contact list. Basically us. Thanks for sharing, everybody. Enjoy.
Nutrient gaps that you might be missing from pork belly, too. So, particularly iodine. Why am I having such a hard time with that one? All right, last time. We got this.